welcome to Popcorn Arcade, presented by Brutal Deluxe. I'm your host Bryce McEwen, and today we are going through what we thought were the best games of 2013. Now most people give you a top 5 or a top 10 or order these games, but we haven't done that. We're just simply talking about the games that we love most, the games that took up all our time. So without further ado, in no particular order, what we thought were the best games of 2013. By far the biggest game of 2013 was GTA 5, so I'm sure it's no surprise to you that that's the one we're going to talk about first.
What do you want?
Just came by to see if there's something I can help you with.
I'm retired. My psychotic best friend shows up out of nowhere.
Nobody tells me what I want!
To torture me over mistakes I made over a decade ago.
Building on the already excellent formula and gameplay of previous GTA titles, Grand Theft Auto 5 is easily the best one of the franchise. With a bigger map, more customization, more destruction, and more crimes to commit, GTA 5 is simply the best game of 2013. What I really love about this game is the way you had 3 different characters to play as, and you could seamlessly jump between each one at any time. What was also great is Rockstar made going on a rampage fun again. My biggest gripe with GTA 4 was it was just a little too realistic, which just made jumping into a car and going crazy harder than it should have been. GTA 5 has not only fixed that problem, but has become one of the best games of all time. Coming up next on our list of games we loved is Injustice: Gods Among Us.
You betrayed me! One of us will. He stole her from me!
Personally, I'm a huge DC Comics fan, so it didn't take much for me to love this game. But seriously, what's not to love? You take some of the biggest superheroes of all time, like Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, and you have them fight against some of the biggest villains of all time, like the Joker, Lex Luthor, and Doomsday. Some of the great accomplishments of this game are the combo attacks, the character balance, and the amazing super moves. Nothing is cooler than seeing Batman run over someone with his Batmobile, or seeing Superman punch an opponent into outer space. Add in the fact that Injustice was made by the same people who did Mortal Kombat, and you have one of the best games of 2013. The zombie genre has been literally done to death, no pun intended. So when a game comes along that totally reinvigorates and reimagines the genre, it's a game that's certainly worth playing. And that's exactly what The Last of Us is.
I just want some simple gear enough to set me on my way.
I reckon it's got something to do with that girl.
It's got everything to do with that little girl.
Set in a post-apocalyptic world, The Last of Us has you playing as Joel, one of the few humans left in a world that has been almost totally destroyed by a fungal pandemic. After years of working as a smuggler, Joel finds Ellie, who he believes is the key to finding a cure to the worldwide infection. This PlayStation 3 exclusive was critically acclaimed for its gripping story, amazing voice acting, and realistic graphics. It was everything we've come to expect from Naughty Dog Studios, and can't wait to see what they come out with next.
We don't have to do this. You know that, right?
There are some game franchises that release a new game every single year, but no game do I look forward to most than Pokemon, and this year we're gifted with the best one yet, Pokemon X and Y. Selling over 1 million copies in its first day alone, Pokemon X and Y was the first version to take the step into glorious 3D, and is widely considered the best game in the franchise. Having the largest roster of Pokemon, all new online features, and the best story to date, it's easy to see why this 15-year-old franchise isn't losing any momentum. One of the best games this year was also one of the cheapest. How cheap, I hear you ask? How does free sound? That's right, I'm talking about none other than Dota 2. Dota, spelt D-O-T-A, standing for Defense of the Ancients, is a game of 2 teams of 5 players trying to destroy the opponent's team base, all the while defending their own. Based off a mod from Warcraft 3, Dota 2 has only 1 game mode and 1 map. But despite this, every game is fresh and different with over 100 different characters to play as. If you don't mind a steep learning curve and are looking for a game that is a mixture of real-time strategy and RPG, then Dota 2 is definitely worth checking out. The next game we're going to talk about is all about a young man who has to go save a princess from an evil villain. Mwah! No, we're not talking about Super Mario. We are, of course, referring to The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. A Nintendo 3DS exclusive, The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds is a top-down 2D adventure game where you play as Link, a young man from the imaginary world of Hyrule, who is tasked with saving Princess Zelda and the entire world. Based in the same storyline as Zelda: A Link to the Past, this game has been receiving fantastic reviews and has been awarded Game of the Year by GameSpot. Nintendo is often criticised for not creating enough new franchises and just making sequels of its existing characters, but when you're making games this great, I say, keep up the good work, Nintendo.
Of course, there were other great games that came out this year, but sadly we don't have time to talk about them all. So here is a snap fast, ultra cool, super music montage. That's all the time we have for today on this episode of Popcorn Arcade. Do you agree or disagree with the games we included? Let us know in the comments below. Also, give us a big thumbs up, and if you want to see more awesome videos like this, hit that subscribe button. We also have a Facebook page, so why not head over there and hit like. Also, Twitter, so go along there and hit follow. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Bryce McEwen, and this has been Popcorn Arcade, presented by Brutal Deluxe.